Developing and manufacturing master controllers has cost a lot of time and money until now, up to 6 months between placing the order and the finished product. Schaltbau has solved the problem with configurable master controllers. Instead of 6 months, it now takes only 6 weeks between receiving an order and finishing the controller, thanks to the individual modular design principle. George is a designer at Speedrail and has just learned about the new system from his Schaltbau rep, Paul. Curious, he picks Paul's brain to find out how it works. Paul is happy to explain. The Schaltbau modular design system is like choosing items on a menu to put together a meal by. In other words, very simple. The modular design system comprises many different separate components which can be combined into an individual master controller. The first thing George selects is a T-handle. Then he chooses among different deadman switch variations, switching elements and unit sizes. For the controller, he also needs an electronic output. The end result is a master controller that is exactly tailored to George's requirements. In other words, George gets exactly what he needs in much less time. Instead of 6 months, the manufacturing of his master controller only takes 6 weeks. The intense development time is unnecessary. And not only is production faster, for George, it's also a lower price. And should the sales negotiations between Speedrail and its customer take a little longer, George can be flexible because changes in the master controller can be made up until the last second. It also goes without saying that the configurable master controller complies with all UIC and IEC standards. A manual and all certificates are enclosed with it. What makes George particularly happy, he receives a 3D model of the master controller so that he can progress with designing his driver's cab. George is delighted. Using the suitable modules, he has a completely individual solution. And 6 weeks later, his master controller. And Speedrail's customers and the train driver are also satisfied. They now have a controller just like they wanted. The configurable master controller system from Schaltbau.